2023. This is a regular meeting. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, led by Councilmember McCullough.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. McCullough. Tonight's meeting will be the 1,981st regular meeting of the Livonia City Council. This is a voting meeting. Minutes of this meeting will be approved on Monday, December 4th of 2023. Tonight, we are missing Vice President Toy, who is out with a virus, but I believe doing well. At this time, I would entertain a motion in regards to the meeting minutes from November 1st.
So move.
Support.
We have a motion from McCullough and support from Barr. I'm going to ask Ms. Nash to take the vote, and then we'll do the roll. Or we'll do the roll first. Do the roll
Roll
first.
call first. Councilmember McCullough.
Present.
Councilmember McIntyre.
Here.
Councilmember Barr.
Here.
Councilmember Donovic.
Here.
Councilmember Morgan.
Here.
President Jolly.
Present. As anticipated, Ms. Toy is still not here, but still doing well. So we have a motion on the floor by McCullough with support from Barr for the meeting minutes of November 1st. Are there any additions or comments on the minutes from the council? I see none. Any comments or additions to the minutes from the audience? I see none. Ms. Nash, take the vote on the minutes, please.
Councilmember McCullough.
Aye.
Councilmember McIntyre.
Aye.
Councilmember Barr.
Aye.
Councilmember Donovic.
Aye.
Councilmember Morgan.
Aye.
President Jolly.
Aye. That is 6 votes to approve the minutes. Mr. Barr was just showing me a text message that he received that said the audio on Spectrum is a little messed up and not clear. It may be the audio, maybe the words that I'm saying, I don't know. But regardless, if we can correct it, let's do so. At this time, the council set aside 30 minutes for audience communication. Members of the audience can address the council on any items not on the agenda tonight for up to 3 minutes each. We'll go directly to that. It is 7:03. Good evening, sir. Your name and address, please.
Thank you, Christopher Martin, and reside in the great state of Michigan.
Thank you, sir.
Just want to make a comment, reference to, I don't know if it was the last study or regular meeting, but a comment was made by a council person, Laura Toy, that she was going to be glad when this election was over, the last one that took place, because she found it to be, not nice, let's call it. And I don't view it that way, to be honest. I thought the sleaziest election we ever had for city council was when the mayor at that particular time, Jack Kirksey, along with Jim McCann and John Pastor, called people that were running for city council to get them to withdraw their name from running, and with the promise that they would be rewarded later, maybe placed on a board or a commission. And that was the sleaziest, without a doubt. It was almost like it was Livonia had become a third world country, and a dictator was trying to, in some fashion, rig the election. Also, the people on the board of ethics at the time thought that that was okay to do that. And once again, those people were put there by the mayor at that time. Also, highly unlikely that Jim McCann's father, who was on the board of ethics at the time, would say that his son, that wasn't the right thing to do. Call people to get them to withdraw. So, just want to make that clear that, my opinion at least, that was the sleaziest council race. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anybody else for audience comment to the council? Seeing none, we'll move on to council announcements. I'll go first. We got new data on item 16. We do have one X item at the end of the regular agenda, and we'd like to wish Ted Davis and Lori Miller, who are celebrating birthdays in the coming weeks. Is there a man in council who'd like to go at this time? Ms. McIntyre?
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. I wanted to remark on some bills that were passed by the Michigan House last week. Bills 5120 and 5121, I should say, HBs 5120 and 5121. These follow on an earlier bill that was passed by the House and signed by the governor mandating that the state have 100% clean energy by 2040. It's always great when we strive, when we have what we used to call in the private sector stretch objectives, meaning goals that you may not be able to attain, but you're going to strive for them. It's great to have those objectives. Objectives are one thing, mandates for ideals that there's no clear path to are another thing. So now the state's struggling under this mandate, this magic mandate for 100% clean energy by 2040. And to do that, it's going to require about 209,000 acres of wind and solar development in the state of Michigan. That's a big number. And people say, well, it's only a little over 0.5% of the land area in Michigan. 0.5% of the land area in the state is a lot. Up until last week, local governments had the authority to decide which solar projects and which wind projects were going to be approved in their communities, consistent with local control over just about every other development. We lost the ability to control cable TV antennas or boxes, I think about a year and a half ago. So House Bills 5120 and 5121 now strip away that control from local authority. Which again, I want everyone to understand. That means that if someone comes and wants a solar development or wind development in Livonia, your elected representatives in your city have no say in it. It goes to the Michigan Public Service Commission. And our Livonia legislators, this was co-authored by, or co-sponsored by one of our representatives, Representative Lori Pahutsky, and it was approved by our two other House legislators, Kolazar and Stephanie Young. So I'm incredibly disappointed that our elected state representatives chose to strip control away from our body and all other, and it passed along party lines. So that the House legislator has the House legislative body, the House has chosen to strip away important power and control from local governments. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else from the council? Mr. Donovic?
Thank you, Mr. President. Vice President Toy actually just texted me and says the audio is still horrible. So I appreciate you watching, Vice President Toy. Last week, we celebrated Veterans Day at Schoolcraft College. This city council, thanks to my colleagues on council, we all signed a proclamation and dedicated it to Schoolcraft College's Veterans Center. And it was renamed and expanded, and it's really a beautiful veteran center now that serves veterans at Schoolcraft College, but also Western Wayne County. It is now called the Mark L. Whitfield Veterans and Military Center. There was a number of donations, large donations from members of our community and some businesses in our community. So thank you to all of the folks that contributed and helped make this building, this new center they have, really one of the nicer veteran centers in Metro Detroit, and I'd like to say Happy Veterans Day to all the veterans in Livonia. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Donovic. Mr. Barr?
Just to continue the public service announcement on the audio, to those residents that are struggling to watch this on Spectrum, most of the time you can pull up YouTube TV, so if you go to youtube.com and just search for LivoniaTV and go to live stream, it will probably work for you. I know that probably won't work for everybody, but maybe that helps a few. Thanks.
Thank you. If there's nothing else from the council, we'll go to Ms. Nash, who has an election recap.
Thank you. First, I want to wish a belated happy birthday to the council office manager, Sarah Kasperich. She didn't put her own name on the list for you guys to read off at the last meeting, so her birthday was the Saturday before the election, so I want to make sure that we wish her a belated happy birthday. As everyone's aware, we had an election last Tuesday. Our voter turnout was 30.45%. We had 24,815 ballots cast. 9,092 were cast on Election Day, and 15,723 absentee. So that's a very good voter turnout for a city election. But right now I want to take some time and I want to thank the election workers. And I think all of us up here and all of us in the community need to, if you meet someone that says they work Election Day, thank them. Because if it's not for them, we can't have the elections. We can do everything we can here at City Hall to get ready, but it's the hundreds of people that work on Election Day that really get the ball rolling and are there for everyone. So if you're an election worker, I say thank you on behalf of the city of Livonia, and if you're in the community and you meet someone that says they work elections, please say thank you to them. I would also like to thank the staff in the city clerk's office, Janet Douglas, the elections coordinator, Lydia Taylor, election systems operator, Nora Brock, Tess Garcia, Aaron Lendenmuth, and Leslie Woroff, all have worked very hard the last few weeks. Actually, a few months, I should say, I'm sorry. This year was kind of an interesting year when the nature of the election, when you had a city clerk and the deputy clerk on the ballot. So because of that, with things that were a little different there, I wanted to give a huge thank you to Michael Sechrist, Township Clerk in Canton, Jerry Vorva, the Plymouth Township Clerk. They were both here on Election Day, just to be eyes. And with the biggest thank you also goes to Sarah Alfreal, the deputy clerk in Taylor, and Tina Riku, the Redford Township deputy clerk. They were here all day on Election Day. They were over, so this way, because we were a little short-staffed because we had people off, and also because just to be the nature of Lori and I not being part of the election that way, we had people in from other communities. So I want to say thank you to them, and I want to circle back and again, thank you to the election workers. We really can't do it without you. So, thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Nash. At this time, we'll go to the scheduled agenda for this evening. We'll start with reports from the mayor and other city officials. We have a communication from the Department of Finance dated November 3rd of 2023, forwarding departmental purchase report for the month ending October 31 of 2023. Tonight, items 1 through 12 are the consent agenda. These items were previously studied at the last, at the study meeting on November 1st and found to require no additional study and will be voted on as a single item this evening. Can I have a motion on the consent agenda?
So moved.
Support.
Motion to approve by Donovic, support by McCullough. Is there any comments from the audience in regards to tonight's consent agenda, items 1 through 12? Seeing none, Ms. Nash, will you take the vote, please?
Councilmember McCullough.
Aye.
Councilmember McIntyre.
Aye.
Councilmember Barr.
Aye.
Councilmember Donovic.
Aye.
Councilmember Morgan.
Aye.
President Jolly.
Aye. The consent agenda is approved. We'll move on to unfinished business. That starts with item number 13. That's a proposed amendment to the Livonia Code of Ordinances as amended from the Department of Law to Title 12, Chapter 16, Parks and Playgrounds, Section 010, to change the name of Park Site AA after the Livonia Lions Club and Devonair Wood Park to John T. Dufour Park. Can I have direction from the council, please?
Move for approval for sake of discussion.
I think we want to have a first reading tonight.
Oh, then I'd be happy to offer a first read.
Thank you. Is there any comments from the council on that first read? Is there any comment from the audience on the first read from Mr. McCullough for item 13? Seeing none, we'll move on to item 14. That is also a proposed amendment to the Livonia Code of Ordinances as amended from the Department of Law to Title 12, Chapter 18, naming of public places and buildings to Section 020 to change the name of the indoor natatorium at Jack E. Kirksey Recreation Center to the Ronald R. Rinke Aquatic Center. Can I have direction, please?
I'd be happy.
For first read.
Mr. Morgan?
For first read.
We have a first read from Mr. Morgan. Is there any comment from the council on that first read from Mr. Morgan? Any comment from the audience? Seeing none, we will move on to item 15. That is a site plan petition from the Planning Commission, petition 2023090807, submitted by Sauve Homes, requesting to develop a site condominium, Bocce's Estates, consisting of 5 single-family homes on the properties at 36143, 36155, and 36167 Parkdale Avenue, located on the south side of Parkdale Avenue between Arthur and Levan Road in the northeast quarter of Section 32. Can I have direction, please?
Mr. President,
Mr. Donovic?
I'll offer an approving.
Support.
We have an approving from Mr. Donovic, support from Ms. McIntyre. Do we have anybody here by way of the petitioner? Are you here for the petitioner?
No, I was up for comments.
If you don't mind, have a seat real quick.
Absolutely.
We'll do it in a particular order, but we will give you your chance to speak. For the petitioner, what is your name, sir?
Brian Duggan, 14315 Denny, Livonia, Michigan.
Thank you, Mr. Duggan. Is there any new information or anything you'd like to share with the council at this time?
None at this time.
Okay. Are there any questions for Mr. Duggan? Seeing none, thank you very much. Appreciate you being here. Mr. Miller, do you have any information that you'd like to share, or?
Not at this time, no.
Thank you very much. All right, I made everybody get up and walk around for no reason. Come on back up here, sir. We'll open this up to audience comments. Good evening, sir. Tell me your name and address, please.
Jason Promo, 10,000 Levan Road, just who he wants to see. I'm the adjacent property to the lot that's going to be built on. So I have probably the highest stake in the neighborhood because these are literally in my backyard.
Okay.
I just wanted to comment on the fact that it was previously, this was already agreed on as 4, and now we've got suddenly 5 houses planned for this site. With 5, you're going to get 52-foot lot widths, leaving 38 feet for each house with the 14-foot driveway or gap between the house. I think that's going to seriously limit the availability of options for constructing ranch homes, which I know the neighborhood would want to see. The neighborhood wants to see 4 ranch homes there. We'd all be happy with that. But the idea, if you cram 5 in there, you're going to be limited. They're all going to turn into 2-story to make his 1,400 to 1,900 square foot condos. And so I had another question about the clarification of what the verbiage condo actually constitutes here, and why it exists. Why condos? What does that mean? Who stands to gain for condos versus single family homes? But that might be a question for Mr. Duggan.
Well,
I just don't know the distinction.
are you done speaking?
Yes.
Okay. I didn't want to use up your time. So in this instance, what condominium development means is it's a particular kind of organization of the property. It basically means that for all intensive purposes, they will function and they will look like normal houses under what has been proposed.
Okay.
But they are using a particular area of state law, the Condominium Act, to develop them in a particular way.
Okay.
A lot of the new home sites that you see that have 2 or more homes abutting one another are actually developed like this now. It's kind of a more modern approach to dividing the property.
Okay, so they're still sold to single family. They're sold to. They're not owned by investment firms and.
Well, I can't tell you who's
rented,
gonna own what.
yeah.
They will look and they will function as individual houses, just as if they were any other houses in the area. Over the last 8 years, we've developed most of the developments in the city under this particular organization.
Gotcha.
And if you looked at them, they would look like neighborhoods to you,
Okay.
by and large.
Okay, reasonable.
Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Is there any other comment from the audience in regards to audience comments on this item? Is there any comment from the council?
Mr. Chair,
Mr. Barr?
just one more comment to the resident, and it piggybacks on what Mr. Jolly said, but you'd be surprised at how many homes in this community, as he said, are actually condos, including some of the largest homes in this community in the last few years. So, also, I don't know if he hears me right now, but I was just going to say that his concerns about the lot widths, as I detailed at the last meeting, I would share those concerns. So, thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Barr. If there's no other comment from the council or the audience in regards to this?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the end of what Mr. Barr said. You said
I
you
just
share
said,
the,
if I may, Mr. Chair, I said, as I detailed at the last study meeting, his concerns about the lot widths are well received, and I share those concerns.
Mr. President.
Mr. Donovic?
Thank you, Mr. President. There's a lot of discussion about this topic, and I understand why. We have a resident that had some comments about it, and then at the last meeting, there was a lot of discussion amongst council. But I'm in support of this plan as presented because it meets the zoning ordinance that we as a city council already approved. When I voted on Livonia Vision 21, I knew I'd be effectively rezoning the entire city, ultimately changing the physical characteristics of lot sizes throughout the community. We as a city, we set the standard for respective lot widths, which legally allow for N1 zoning to be a minimum 50 feet wide and N2 zoning be a minimum of 70 feet wide. In my opinion, the word minimum doesn't give council the authority to tell a petitioner that the lot width needs to exceed the ordinance. It tells the petitioner, do not propose anything less than the ordinance, and it sets the standard for that zoning, kind of guides the requirements. If this project was deficient of those requirements, I would not be in support, but in fact, this plan actually exceeds those lot width requirements, and that's why this project should be approved as presented, because it just meets the law. I believe if city council starts, kind of requiring lot widths greater than the property's current zoning during site plan resolutions, we could find ourselves in a potential lawsuit based on kind of the arbitrary rules where we're changing lot widths when we want, depending on that council at that time. I totally understand wanting harmony in the city, in the neighborhoods, but we do that through a zoning ordinance. We don't do that through a site plan petition if that petition meets the requirements. So if we believe that 50-foot lots are not harmonious with 60-foot lots, or 70-foot lots are not harmonious next to 80-foot lots, I think council needs to actually change the zoning ordinance standard through a rezoning process and not through a petitioner's site plan resolution. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. Ms. Nash, will you take the vote, please?
Councilmember McCullough.
Aye.
Councilmember McIntyre.
aye.
Councilmember Barr.
No.
Councilmember Donovic.
Aye.
Councilmember Morgan.
Aye.
President Jolly.
Aye. Item 15 is approved. Item 16 is a request to approve a 5-year extension with Tyler Technologies. New World, that's the product, I believe. Department of Information Systems has brought this to us for New World ERP, financial management, human resource management, and utility management software from budgeted funds. Can I have a motion from the council, please?
So moved.
We have
Support.
an approving from Mr. Morgan with support from Mr. McCullough. This is the item that we have new data on. It is communication from Tyler Technologies that provides what I believe is a list of communities in the state of Michigan who are also using this software. Is there any comment from the council in regards to item 16? Any comment from the audience on item 16? Seeing none, Ms. Nash, take the vote, please.
Councilmember McCullough.
Aye.
Councilmember McIntyre.
Aye.
Councilmember Barr.
Aye.
Councilmember Donovic.
Aye.
Councilmember Morgan.
Aye.
President Jolly.
Aye. 16 is approved. 17 is a request to amend the agreement between the Charter Township of Canton and the City of Livonia from the Department of Parks and Rec for reimbursement of day pass use at the Jackie Kirksey Recreation Center by Summit on the Park members, beginning November 1st of '23 until the project is completed. Can I have direction, please?
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Morgan.
Support.
Support from Mr. Donovic. Any comment from the council on 17?
Council President?
Mr. McCullough?
Thank you. I will be voting no on this one. I appreciate the fact that we have an agreement with Canton, but when this was presented to us months ago, this project was supposed to be completed right around this time, actually a few weeks ago. I'm all for supporting local communities, but however, giving them our resident rate while we have other non-residents having to pay full fees going into the rec center, I just don't agree with. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there any comment from the audience on 17? Seeing none, Ms. Nash, take the vote, please.
Councilmember McCullough?
No.
Councilmember McIntyre?
No.
Councilmember Barr?
No.
Councilmember Donovic?
Aye.
Councilmember Morgan?
Aye.
President Jolly?
Aye. So this is a 3-3 tie. We'll go, just to be clear here, to our city attorney, Mr. Bernier.
It fails for lack of support.
All right, depending on what the item is, sometimes we've directed inappropriately, so it's a 3-3 tie, which means the item will not be approved. We'll move on to item 19, which is, item 18, which is new business, a request to authorize an additional expenditure from the engineering division for the DPW fencing replacement project from budgeted funds, citing council resolution 274-23. Can I have direction?
Mr. President,
Mr. Mc,
I'll
or
offer, oh,
Mr. Donovic?
easy.
Mr. Donovic.
I'll offer an approving. Thank you, Mr. President.
I mean, you guys, over time, you look really like twins.
I'd like to say my
Like
beard looks
brothers.
better than Mr. McCullough's.
All right, I have a motion on the floor by Donovic. Can I have support?
Support?
Support from McCullough. Is there any comment from the council on 18? I see none. Any comment from the audience on 18? Seeing none, I'll ask Ms. Nash to take the vote.
Councilmember McCullough?
Aye.
Councilmember McIntyre?
Aye.
Councilmember Barr?
Aye.
Councilmember Donovic?
Aye.
Councilmember Morgan?
Aye.
President Jolly?
Aye, 18 is approved. 19 is a request to waive the formal bidding process and authorize an additional appropriation and expenditure from the engineering division for the Robert and Janet Bennett Civic Center Library West parking lot paving project. Say that 3 times fast. From budgeted funds. Can I have direction, please?
Move for approval?
Support.
We have an approving from McCullough, support from Barr. Are there any comments from the council?
Mr. Chair.
Mr. Barr.
Question, although I didn't find this earlier, and as Murphy's Law would have it, I may have just found it now, but I'm not entirely clear from this picture. I just want to be clear on where this parking lot is. Is this essentially the courthouse parking lot? Is this for Todd maybe, or?
The chair, to Councilman Barr, basically just the west side of the building. As you know, we're reinvesting into our libraries. If you look over there, there's some potholes, they're really, really deep. It's basically where some of the vans park on the west side of the library. It's about 6,500 square feet. So directly west of the library, north of the parking lot. I have a picture if you want it. Basically, if you'd like
Is
to
it
look
the
at
same
it.
picture that was in our packet?
Yeah, it's in a packet. There's about 4 spots out there, and there's an entrance comes in, to the side of the building.
Okay, so it's essentially the road between the courthouse and the library?
It's
I'm
just,
just,
it's just the parking lot directly west of the building.
well, the parking lot directly west of the building is the courthouse.
I'm sorry, east.
Oh, east.
East.
Oh, there it is. Okay, that's an important distinction. I was looking at the packet today, I'm like, why are they not just calling this the courthouse parking lot?
And that's it, for differently, I'm sorry.
Okay, no further questions, that clears it up for me. I wasn't crazy, thanks. Todd's not crazy either, it's,
He is an engineer.
thank you.
I'm just trying to think make sure everyone's not
You know
crazy.
what?
No.
I am crazy. You had it exactly right. I was turned around between west and east, so I apologize. You were 100% right. Thank you.
Okay. Any comment from the audience on 19? Seeing none, Ms. Nash, take the vote on 19, please.
Councilmember McCullough?
Aye.
Councilmember McIntyre?
Aye.
Councilmember Barr?
Aye.
Councilmember Donovic?
Aye.
Councilmember Morgan?
Aye.
President Jolly?
Aye. 19 is approved. 20 is a request to accept the storm water facilities maintenance agreement for from the Engineering Division from Sheldon Center LLC in conjunction with the construction of a storm drain system that provides adequate drainage for the Sheldon Park Village located at 33111 Plymouth Road in the northwest quarter of Section 34. Can I have direction?
Move approval.
Support.
Motion to approve from Mr. Barr with support from McCullough. Are there any comments from the council on this item? Are any comments from the audience on number 20? Seeing none, Ms. Nash, take the vote, please.
Councilmember McCullough.
Aye.
Councilmember McIntyre.
Aye.
Councilmember Barr.
Aye.
Councilmember Donovan.
Aye.
Councilmember Morgan.
Aye.
President Jolly.
Aye. Item 20 passes. Can I have a motion to suspend the rules, please?
So moved, Mr. President.
Support.
We have a motion from Mr. Donovic with support from Mr. Barr. Is there any comment from the council on that motion to suspend the rules? Any comment from the audience? Ms. Nash, will you take the vote on suspending the rules?
Councilmember McCullough.
Aye.
Councilmember McIntyre.
Aye.
Councilmember Barr.
Aye.
Councilmember Donovan.
Aye.
Councilmember Morgan.
Aye.
President Jolly.
Aye. The rules are suspended, allowing us to hear item X1, that is a request for designation as a nonprofit organization from Ellen Burns, the co-president of the Clarenceville Band Boosters, as required by the state of Michigan to obtain a charitable gaming license to allow a raffle fundraiser in the future. Can I have a motion on this item?
Move for approval.
Support.
We have an approving from McCullough with support from Morgan. I'll note the reason why this is the next item. This originally came to the council office, and given the normal course of things, was given, I believe, December 4th, which would have been the next normal meeting date based on when it came in the door. When that was discovered by the petitioner, they contacted the council and asked if we could move this up so as to allow them enough time to go to the state and get the license so that they could have their raffle as planned, because they would not be able to do so under the previous date of December 4th. They would have lost some crucial time. So we do have a motion on the floor. Do we have any other comments from the council? Ms. McIntyre?
Do we have anyone here from Clarenceville this evening?
Is Ellen Burns here? I was expecting, my understanding was there was going to be somebody here. I did speak to Mr. MacGyver in regards to this. This is, I believe, something that is being planned with the boosters here and Alpha USA and some other businesses sponsoring a raffle and paying for the prizes for the raffle.
Well, I think it's disappointing when we're asked to accommodate something through an next item, big or small, and no one from the organization or participants can bother to show up to be here in case we have any questions. Disappointing.
Thank you. Ms. Kasperowitz? The date was communicated, correct? Thank you. Okay, if there's nothing further from the council, is there any audience comment on X1? Seeing none, Ms. Nash, will you take the vote, please?
Councilmember McCullough.
Aye.
Councilmember McIntyre.
No.
Councilmember Barr.
Aye.
Councilmember Donovan.
Aye.
Councilmember Morgan.
Aye.
President Jolly.
Aye. The item passes. At this time, that concludes the agenda for tonight. We'll go back to audience comments. Is there anybody from the audience wishing to address us on any non-agenda items tonight? The audio is going at the right time. I see none. Is there any closing comments from the council? I see none. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Support.
Motion by McCullough, support by Barr. I believe we can show 6 in regards to adjourning. We will be back as scheduled at 8 p.m. Thank you.
She's totally.
I don't know, there's a lot of Scots up here tonight.